Okay guys, so welcome to the demo portion of this video. Before we even get started, I just want to say that I just shaved and I nicked myself on my top lip as well as on my neck right here. That is not a hickey, for the record. If it were a hickey, I would have done a lot more to conceal that shit is all I'm saying. So yeah, please ignore that. My skin's just really irritated and I think I need to replace the blade on my razor. Nicked myself, let's ignore that. So first things first, I'm gonna go into the Full Spectrum Matte Ambition primer. This does have SPF 20, so I'm just gonna take that and rub it in. Also, I just realized I have eyelash glue. I have tried to remove it. I literally cannot without ripping out my eyelashes. So that's also a disclaimer, and I know I'm not the only one because when I sit you guys down to do y'all's makeup, when I am at work, I see a bunch of y'all with a bunch of eyelash glue still stuck to your eyelashes, so I don't want to hear it. Just putting that out there. I've seen it. Moving on, I'm gonna go into the Matte Ambition All Day Shine Free. I am either light golden or medium golden. Okay, so shockingly, I am light golden. I think I'm more of a light medium golden, but it does match my neck. You guys know that my neck is a lot paler than my face, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that because if I do medium golden, I think that's going to be too deep for me. I just find that CoverGirl foundation oxidize on me anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead with the light golden. I'm gonna pump it on the back of my hand. I'm gonna take that and start applying it all over my face. So it is a matte foundation, so it dries fairly quickly. I'm having a little bit of a problem because it's not, I think the Beauty Blender is sucking up some of the product, so it's not applying nice and even. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Never mind then. So I'm gonna use my Sephora Pro Slanted Buffing Detailer brush. This is the number 89 brush from Sephora. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and I'm just gonna start applying it with this. Okay, so the foundation is looking a little light. It is starting to oxidize just a little bit. I will say, you guys, that the foundation is a little patchy on my skin, but I am also dry combination skin at the moment because, again, I am on Accutane. So I'm not hating it because I know it's a matte foundation. So they did send me their concealers. If you guys watched the unboxing video, you guys already know that. I believe there's 6 shades. I only have 5 right here with me. I don't know what I did with the other one. So these 5 that I have right now are too deep for me, so I'm not gonna be able to use them for highlighting, as in like covering up my under eye. So I am gonna go in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer, and I'm gonna take that. I am in the shade 33, and I'm gonna take that and just apply it to my under eye. So this is a little bit more of a creamier formula. So with that being said, that's gonna help to hide a little bit more than just the foundation, because again, I am dry, so this foundation is a little bit drying for me. Okay, that already looks so much better. Can't even begin to explain. With that being said, I'm gonna go into the Full Spectrum Contour and Correct Expert. I'm gonna take my Sephora Pro Concealer brush. This is number 71 from Sephora collection. Okay, so the bottom row is a little bit warmer. The top row is more of the cool tone, so I'm gonna use the top row. So I'm just gonna go in with my Beauty Blender and just blend that out. So they do blend out and it does create a nice sheer contour. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the deeper shade because I feel like that's not enough. It might be enough for my nose though. Let me blend that out. Okay, yeah, that's perfect for your nose. I'm gonna go into the deeper one a little bit and I'm just gonna tap that out on the outer corner. Okay, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but the foundation definitely did oxidize just a little bit. It's definitely matching my skin tone now. On camera, it might still be reflecting a little bit brighter. That is normal because of all my studio lighting. I just promise I don't look ghostly in person. Overall, I really like this contouring palette. This is definitely great for if you're a makeup artist just to have in your kit. I don't know that I would use the darker tones just because they are a little too deep for me, but even just using the 2 middle shades on the top row, those are pretty great for me. They blend out nicely and they look really nice. So now I'm just gonna go into the light neutral powder from the Matte Ambition line. This is just their pressed powder that correlates with the foundation. I'm just gonna go into this bad boy and take my Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to apply that underneath my eyes to set my concealer. I'm gonna take that same color and just put it in my T-zone. And then I'm just gonna take the light medium golden, and this is going to go all over my face. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush from Sephora collection. This is the Pro Featherweight Complexion brush. This is number 9. 90. This is one of my favorite brushes to apply powders. I'm just gonna lightly powder it, shake off the excess, and just go ham. Overall, I really like this powder. It definitely smoothens out your skin and gives you a nice velvety finish. It's a decent coverage powder. I want to say that the powder can give you medium coverage just from looking at it and swatching it. My face does feel very mattified, and what I mean by that is that I'm dry combination skin, so this is a little drying on my skin. However, if you have oily skin, this is going to be amazing for you. I am going to take the powder in the shade Tan Golden, which is a deeper tone, obviously, and I'm going to use that to contour. Or not to contour, but just to bronze up my skin a little bit. I'm gonna take that same fluffy brush and I'm just gonna dip into it, and I'm just going to lightly dust this. I'm gonna take some of the light neutral powder foundation, take it onto my beauty blender, and I'm just gonna carve out my contour a little bit. Next, we're gonna move in on eyeshadow. Some of these palettes actually remind me of the old CoverGirl palettes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but I have done a review on them. They were supposed to rival like the Urban Naked palette. Like this would look like the original Naked palette, and this would look like the rose gold one. I've reviewed those in the past, so I already know that they're good quality. I'm gonna go ahead and review this guy for you guys. Like, I'm gonna use some of the colors and see how they apply. We're just gonna have fun with this. Because there is no matte shade on this right off the bat, I'm going to use a bronzer as a transition shade. So I'm just gonna use my bronzer from this Estee Edit bronzer when they were still a thing, and I'm gonna go into my crease and just define it. I'm gonna take my Anastasia A25 brush. This is really my handy dandy brush, and I'm just gonna go into the blue shade. I'm gonna do like blue and yellow eyeshadow look. Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. I don't normally play around with blue, so this could, I don't know. It's like really pretty and really pigmented right off the bat, so I'm actually shook. Like, keep in mind, I don't have an eyeshadow primer. All I have is like concealer on my eye, but I just love how pigmented it is. Like, this is actually really nice. Obviously, I had swatched it on my hand in my other video, but I hadn't applied it on my eyes, and I really like how pigmented it is. This is like really nice. I'm gonna take the yellow shade, and I'm just going to apply it on the inner corner of the eye. So I went ahead and added some green to the middle of my transition, just because I felt like the yellow and the blue was too big of a contrast. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the bottom portion. I'm just gonna go into the green, and I'm just gonna sweep that underneath my eye. And then I'm gonna take some blue, and I'm just gonna put it on the outer portion. Next, I'm just gonna go into the lightest shade, and I'm just gonna put that in my inner corner. Next, I'm just gonna go into the black eyeliner, and I'm just gonna put it on my top lash line. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I applied the Alexander August lashes in Reviews. So that is what's on my eyes. From here, all that's left to do is, well, as far as the eye look, is their CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. Now, I have never used this before, so I am really curious how it's going to work out. It does have an hourglass applicator, very similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex, and I'm just going to apply that ever so slightly just to coat my own lashes to blend in better with the falsies, and then I'm just gonna go in on the other side. Now I'm just gonna take the mascara and apply it to my bottom lashes. I really like the formulation of this mascara. It's like not goopy. What I'm trying to say is it's not super liquidy. It's very like thick in consistency, and so that's allowing it to apply nicely without clumping, because I feel like sometimes when it's super liquidy, it kind of clumps once it dries down. This is already kind of dried down, so it doesn't look awful, and it didn't clump my bottom lashes altogether, which is a big deal because a lot of mascara do that and then they just don't look natural. So they look nice and wispy, so I definitely give the mascara a thumbs up. I'm just letting you guys know right now. Moving on, I am going to use the CoverGirl lip liner in 205. This is one of my favorite lip liners that CoverGirl has to offer. It's just the perfect nude tone. Next, I'm just going to go into the new CoverGirl shade Prodigy. This is FS300. This is just a beautiful mauve toned metallic color, and I'm just going to go onto my lips. I really like this lipstick. It feels really nice. A lot of the CoverGirl's lipsticks are actually super lightweight in formulation. They don't feel heavy on the lips, and they feel really soft and smooth. So if you're the kind of person whose lips crack naturally, or whose natural lips are really dry, this is going to be the perfect formulation for you because it's not going to crack on your lips. And I am going to take the gloss Idole from this collection. This is in the shade, it does not say, does it say? Oh yes, it's called Believe Me, and I'm just going to use the gloss on the inner portion of my lips. I just wanted to give my lips a little pop of pink. So with that, the only thing left for me to do is to apply some blush and highlight. I am going to be taking the Full Spectrum Sculpt Expert palette. I have used this before in another video, in my last video where I opened this just because I wanted to try it out. I am going to take a blush brush and I am going to apply some blush. This is the Wet n Wild blush brush that they just released, part of the Rebel Rose collection, by the way. If you're wondering, I'm going to tap off the excess and I'm just going to smile. Ooh, very pigmented. Very pigmented. I'm gonna need a close-up brush for this because I'm a little nervous. Very pigmented. Oh my god. I can live with it, I guess. Gonna even out the other side. I like to bring my blush up to my temples just to give me a little bit of cohesiveness. Okay, I don't hate it. It's a lot of blush. I'm not used to wearing a lot of blush. So I'm gonna go in with the lightest highlight in this palette, and I'm just gonna take my Anastasia 223 brush. 223, 23, A23, A23. A23 brush, and I'm just going to highlight the top of my cheekbone. This is super pigmented and I love it. So this is the finished look. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix my hair off camera and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so this is the final look. I actually really enjoyed using these products. I have to say I definitely give this whole collection a thumbs up. Some of my favorites were obviously the eyeshadow palette. I'm really shook by the way that it's really pigmented. I will say that there is a lot of fallout when you take your brush to your eyelid. You guys can't tell on camera, but I had a lot of fallout in my under eye. I should have taken some loose setting powder and just applied some so that that wouldn't have happened, but I didn't think it was going to be an issue, or I didn't plan ahead, I should say, but it's fine. It's not super noticeable on camera and it's barely noticeable in real life. In real life. This is real life, right? This is real life. It's not that noticeable in person. I definitely took some powder and kind of just tried to eliminate it without doing my whole face again because that would have been a lot of work. I am genuinely shook. I'm sorry that the eyeshadow is kind of basic as far as technique. Like, it's not a cut crease, it's nothing fancy. I definitely was just really trying out the pigmentation, seeing how it would apply to the skin. I'm really shook with this foundation also. I will say though that it was a little bit of patchy on my skin, but again, I am combo dry, and a lot of time when you're dry skinned, the foundation will kind of drag on the skin and it won't apply nicely. I did have to use 4 pumps in order to get a decent coverage, but I don't want that, if you're oily, to intimidate you. If you're dry, then this foundation is definitely not for you. I am combination dry, so I can make this foundation work to my advantage because I am a little combo, not dry everywhere. But if you're super dry, this is not it for you. But if you're dry, you shouldn't be using a matte foundation anyway. The color, definitely a better fit now that it's kind of oxidized on my skin. At the beginning, I kind of look like a pale ghost. Yeah, it's a pretty good shade as far as matching my chest and neck. It's definitely a little lighter than my face, and next time I'll probably use golden medium, but this was light golden. The contouring palette was definitely a hit for me. That's definitely something I'm going to be reaching for. I don't normally do cream contours because I find that a lot of times the formulations are too thick and I have a hard time blending them out. The only cream contour that I have used is the Anastasia stick foundations. Those are really nice, but this was really nice because it really blended out. If you do, you could literally do a lot and it'll still sheer out as long as you keep blending, or you can stop at a certain point to get more of a defined contour. Of course, I like to make it as natural as possible, so I obviously over blended. The powder foundation is a good foundation, like a good to go on top of your already existing foundation. I don't know that I would pull for it to use by itself as a foundation alone, just because I found that it was a little bit dry. But if you're oily, I'm sure you'll be fine. Like, I'm sure if I were to give this to my mom and apply it on her, she's super oily. That's how she stays young. I feel like it would just look amazing on her. On me, however, because I am combo dry, it is a little bit drying and it made my face feel a little tight all over. I loved using it as a bronzer though. It just looks so nice. The primer honestly reminds me of the Smashbox Photo Finish primer. So the original Smashbox primer, very silicone-y. So this does have silicone in it. However, the first ingredient is water, so it's going to be a lot better for your skin in my opinion, because I find that the Smashbox primers tend to clog my pores right in the center, like in my nose. I get a lot of blackheads from it because it just clogs up my pores. So it's not one of my favorite primers. In fact, when I worked at Sephora, they used to give them out to us as gratis a lot, and I actually used to give them away because it clogged my pores ridiculously. So I I think this is a better alternative, and it does have SPF 20, which I am always grateful for a product that has SPF in it. Overall, I really did appreciate the full spectrum collection. With that being said, guys, I don't want to talk too much. That concludes this video. If you watched this video all the way to the very end, leave a rainbow emoji down in the descriptions just so I know that you guys watched the entire video all the way to the very end. Let me know what your favorite drugstore products at the moment down below so that I know what to purchase when I go to the drugstore. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you guys can be notified every time I upload a new YouTube video. And until next time, guys, DGAFpanda out.